We have breaking news, Vikings fans, as they finally made a move at that cornerback position by signing free agent corner Bobby McCain. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Now, coming up on today's show, we're going to give you guys everything you need to know about Bobby McCain, how he has played actually under Brian Flores in the past. And then we're also going to be talking about more cornerback targets on the second half of today's show because I don't necessarily think the Vikings are done making moves at that position. But who got cut? Well, it was actually kicker John Parker Romo, which is actually going to lead to Will Reichard, sixth-round rookie out of Alabama, to be the starting kicker. But John Parker tweeted this out early this morning saying, never know when your last snap is coming. 48 left hash, 50 to 20-mile-an-hour winds, and he ended up drawing the kick. But he says, thank you, Vikings. Might be back sooner than later. He said, I will be available tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So John Parker broke the news about him getting cut, which led the Vikings having an open roster spot to sign free agent corner Bobby McCain. Adam Schefter tweeted this out at 11:18. He says, source, Vikings are signing former Dolphins and Giant free agent defensive back Bobby McCain, reuniting him with Minnesota defensive coordinator Brian Flores. We'll break down Bobby McCain here in a second, but guys, got to tell you guys to hit that subscribe button because we were just about to film a video about the quarterback battle between J.J. McCarthy and Sam Darnold, and then we had some breaking news and had to get a video about Bobby McCain out to you guys ASAP. So please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And hey, help us reach that next milestone here at Vikings Now by Chat Sports. So hit that subscribe button and lock us in. But let's go back to the 2022 season. When that was the last time Bobby McCain saw some real reps. He was with the Giants in 2023, but he only played in 2 games and never really got his feet wet there in New York. But in the 2022 campaign with the Washington Commanders, he had an overall grade of 61.4, coverage grade of 69.5, which was not bad at all. However, he did struggle in the run defense grade at only 33.9. Did have 5 PBUs and 0 interceptions. So that's how he fared in his last real outing in an NFL season. But more on McCain. So he did play with the Miami Dolphins, had 2 years under Brian Flores. He was a former 5th-round pick in the 2015 NFL draft, and he was actually first-team All-AAC or AAC in 2014. But he is 5'9". He has a ton of versatility on that side of the football. He can play slot corner, he can play deep hash safety, and he can obviously, play outside corner as well. So he's offering versatility and solid depth at that position. And the thing I love the most is he's already familiar with Brian Flores. Like, there is not going to be this big learning curve, him coming in and playing a very unique defense, which Brian Flores runs, which is great to hear because my biggest concern about the Vikings adding another corner during camp leading up to the preseason and regular season was how was he going to be able to fit in and understand the defense right away? Well, that shouldn't be an issue with Bobby McCain. Is actually back in 2020, he had one of his best seasons in the NFL under Brian Flores. His overall grade was 62.1. Coverage grade was 63.1. Run defense was a lot better that season at a grade of 61, but he also had an interception and 4 pass breakups. Now, where does this leave the Vikings cornerback room as it stands right now? So, Mekhi Blackmon, he was out for the year with the torn ACL in the first practice of Vikings training camp. So now you leave a solid 5-man rotation, or I guess 6-man if you want to include Booth in there, but a Byron Murphy, Shaq Griffin, a Caleb Evans, Duke Shelley, Bobby McCain, and then Andrew Booth being that 6th player. Could Andrew Booth make the roster? That's going to be a big question that will probably be answered during training camp over the couple of next weeks. But, overall, my take on this was needed. Like, I fully anticipated the Vikings to make a move at that cornerback spot. I don't necessarily think that leaves, the door closed on them possibly bringing in a Stephon Gilmore, a Dory Jackson, or maybe even they go big and try to trade for Marshawn Lattimore, which we'll talk about here in a second. But this was needed another body in camp because, also it was Shaq Griffin who went down with an injury day 2 of Vikings training camp. And if this room was just one move away, one injury away from being one of the worst cornerback groups and one of the most depleted groups in the entire National Football League. And with how the NFC North has shaken out over the past couple of years, the Packers have stacked weapons. The Bears added Keenan Allen and Romo this offseason. And then the Detroit Lions with Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, like they have a loaded group of weapons as well. So if you're going to want to compete in this division over the next couple of years, you're going to be strong at that secondary spot. And the Vikings did that with just, adding another camp body in Bobby McCain. But we got more on McCain and also 5 other cornerback targets for the Minnesota Vikings, which we'll tell you about here in a second. But first off, guys, I got to tell you about my favorite sponsor here at Vikings Now, and that is Game Time. If you guys are looking to purchase tickets to any events in the near future, download the Game Time app, use promo code CHATSPORTS, and we'll hook you guys up with $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, first purchase only, but when you use promo code CHATSPORTS, we'll hook you guys up with $20 off. And if you guys are looking to go to a Minnesota Twins game this summer, well, you guys are in luck, as Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch. And with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Now, my favorite feature of the app is you guys can actually see the view from your seat before you purchase the ticket, so you guys will see if your view, is constructed by maybe a random poll or whatever it may be. Game Time allows you to see the view from your seat before you actually buy the ticket. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets this summer with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I'll put that link for you guys in the comment section and description of today's show. But if you guys are looking to buy a ticket to any event in the near future, use the Game Time app and get that and plug in that promo code CHATSPORTS, and we'll hook you guys up with $20 off. So more on Bobby McCain here. So I was looking back at his past seasons, and his best year actually came in 2021, where he started 8 games at cornerback and 8 games at free safety, and actually led the Commanders with a career-high 4 interceptions that season. So he has versatility, can play corner, can play slot, can play safety. He can do it all. I think he's going to be successful here in Minnesota. But let's just say the Vikings look at the free agent market again to bring in another corner. Well, the name I've been pounding home here on the channel over the past couple of weeks is Stephon Gilmore. Now, I think Gilmore offers a lot of versatility to this group. He would add a leadership aspect to the locker room, just helping these guys in the day-ins and day-out of practice. And also, he was still pretty good with the Cowboys this past season. Pretty effective, had a really good year playing next to Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs. So, if I had to choose my number one target in terms of free agency for the Vikings, it would be Stephon Gilmore. But what about the best scheme fit? And I think this goes to Adoree Jackson here. Typical press man corner, doesn't need safety help over the top. And Bill Barnwell of ESPN actually listed the Vikings as a perfect fit for Adoree Jackson in terms of his next team in free agency. So maybe the Vikings try to target, another former New York Giant in Adoree Jackson. But speaking about somebody who also has some familiarity with Brian Flores, Xavier Howard. Now, he does have some legal issues going on off the field, so we need to get those shored up before he would be brought in. But this would be a guy, again, he could come in a day before the first game and still be familiar with what Brian Flores likes to do. Was very effective for Miami again this past season. Yes, a little older at the age of 31, but in terms of just a veteran presence in that locker room and on the football field, Xavier would be a great choice. Now, what about a trade target? Marshawn Lattimore, and there's actually Jeremy Fowler who connected the Vikings to Lattimore, saying that they could be in a sweepstakes as, the Saints are going to try to shed salary eventually this season. And, he said Marshawn could be on his way out, and his point he was making was the Vikings could actually absorb his contract with McCarthy and Sam Darnold on some cheap deals. So, this would be the best corner the Vikings could bring in, but with their limited draft capital, would they want to give that up to bring in an all-pro corner? We'll have to wait and see what Kwesi is thinking. But there is a veteran out there, former Minnesota Viking, Patrick Peterson. I'm probably out on Pat Pete. I think he would offer the same locker room value that a guy like Gilmore could offer this football team, but I don't think he'll offer, the on-the-field production like a Gilmore, Jackson, and Howard, which the Vikings desperately need right now. But I'll ask you guys this. What is your confidence level in the Vikings cornerback room as it stands right now? Scale it for me 1 through 10 down in the comment section. after this move, originally I was at probably a 3. Now I'm probably at a 5. Just got to continue making moves, got to continue developing those young guys in that group, and hopefully it's a better, unit than what we saw last season. But hey, you guys be honest with me and let me know your thoughts down below. And also give me a follow on Twitter if you guys want more around the Minnesota Vikings. And thank you guys so much for watching today's show. See you guys next time. As always, Skol Vikes.